Get into the story. Take up from me, really, Lord. God is right, that's all. The bacchanal story. At first I took real honor. Cause the man is a damn good writer, but this carrying on too long. See, as a junior, my sister gave me her favorite pencil. Taught me line to line how to construct my very own feeling. She said it's not about ever winning a show. It's about using the voice and the power that God gave you. She said in your words, you must find a solution or a plan. In this whole of Calypso, you fight for the common man. So I can tell them, you ain't Conway's. He ain't writing or any of my songs that you heard before. Mr. Man, take your foot out of me, true Lord. No, ain't Conway's. He ain't writing. I stand on the back of a damn legend. It's there my excellence come from. My passion stems from Green Kitty. Together we'll create a legacy. Tell them no. Ain't Conway's. He ain't writing.
13 minutes after 8 o'clock. Good morning. Welcome to Island Tea. Guys, what's up?
I'm good. How are you doing? How was your weekend?
Busy. You know, we had the Calypso eliminations on Saturday and Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Like 1 million people each night.
Yeah.
What do you do at the Calypso?
I judged.
Oh wow, you're a judge.
Just one judge.
Okay.
So all the people out there, heading to the hardware to get rope for the judges.
Cause are you cheating?
It's only, it's more than one of us. Not just because people act like they come to you like you're the only one.
So based on the results, Jam, so I think they selected 16 last night
16,
to go to the semi-finals
to come up against the Queen, who we're listening to there.
And from the from the eliminations, it seemed that Kamal he amassed the highest number of points.
I have the clip there with the
coming out of the elimination. Yeah. We could play the clip now and the persons hear what song came out number one for the elimination.
Yeah. And let's just pause here to give the Queen her crown again, because I like that she's answering, and so it's a very engaging social commentary. So
yes.
No, it's not Conway saying write my song. It's a voice. It's about my voice and my power as singing for the common man.
But do
so
you know,
I really like that Kaiso.
But do you know? Here's the weird thing about that whole argument over Congress. Her pedigree is off the chain. How many people have so many people in one family that sing and write with amazing voices and amazing pen games? I don't understand where people get this stuff from. Marquise. Who sings with
I
has his own band now. Alex Duncan, I don't know if you remember him.
Her sister.
Kibi.
Who is a national queen.
Yeah, and then Genesis, who I think is a niece or something like that. Yeah. I don't understand.
And she has a niece who was Miss Talented Teen and Caribbean Talented Teen, who is studying medicine in Cuba. So she, and off of her music, she is, to me, she's an icon in her own right. Does she need to take time to respond to the masses and the criticism? I think it's one to put in her portfolio. It's definitely one to put in her portfolio.
And she has won the junior Monarch competition before.
She's won all of them.
She's won the senior and she's won the woman. Yeah, she has won all.
I don't think Congress has won the woman. 3 consecutive crown on him. But do you need to answer? I think it's one for the portfolio. Would I have liked for her to deal with more pressing issues in her social commentary? Yes. But if this is what she feels like she needs to sing about, I am 10,000% behind Queen Independent. She's definitely my queen.
In addition, when we look at what Calypso is, it's about bacchanal. It's about giving that spice. And so in her song, she's giving a little spice in saying, no, in Congress, he ain't write this. And so that little bacchanal there is there as well.
I think it's good for her portfolio.
It's really silly she has to waste time and sing a song like
I
that.
think I
When
feel a bit like
if people had any sense,
and that's why I say it's good for the catalog.
understand.
It's
Yeah.
good for the catalog. It goes down in history because we can't run away from the fact that Conway is a monarch politician. You know, he grew his popularity in the culture, in the music. He pivoted into politics with that following per se, and it's a charisma in his leadership. They share the same constituency, the same politics. So he would serve as a mentor, and I could see that frame. But don't take her quality away from her.
Someone has commented, Calypso is about social commentary.
Yes.
Some people just like drama and mask it as spice.
I do think Calypso is about social commentary. And this is why I say for her catalog, because she's very young.
but this is social commentary.
Yeah, she's very young. She's 31, 32. She's going to have another 32 years in Kaiso and more. So to put it in her repertoire of work is very important.
I like the little bit. This ain't Congress, he ain't right this.
Kaiso.
It's okay. So,
Okay,
so let's hear
listen to the
about
other one.
Kamal
Yeah,
and see what he had.
So let me give a little background for the people who don't know. The Calypso eliminations were held for 2 nights at Spratnet. Each day started at 6 o'clock. So on Saturday you had 14 Calypsonians from the Legends tent, and then I think you had about maybe 6 from the Proud Sound, and then Sunday night we went back again at 6 o'clock, and we had about 20 Calypsonians from the Proud Sound tent. So basically all the Legends tent people sang on Saturday, and from all of those contestants, 16 were picked to go to the semi-finals. So I'm now gonna play the results. The MC, the usually rousing Chris Moonlight, Short Pants was good. So here he is announcing the results along with the points.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name Chris Moonlight Roberts. I was the MC for the past 2 nights. I want you to put your hands together for the MC, please, for the judges, for the organizers of the Calypso Elimination 1 and 2. Start from the top down. Kamal, 444, 444 points. Kamal. Hollywood, 414. Mighty Godfrey, 413. King Sakwati, 412. Lady Diva, 402. Mighty Pat, 401. Lady Composer, 401. Green Tea, 382. Singing Jackie, 379. The Mighty Watcher Back, 376. Invincible, 376. ISO Sop, 373. Baker, 373. Mighty Freddy, 371. King Craig, 370. Nazi, 365 is number 16. Kamal, Hollywood, Godfrey, Sakwati, Lady Diva, Mighty Pat, Lady Composer, Green Tea, Queen Singing Jackie, Mighty Watch Your Back, Invincible, ISO Soft, Baker, Freddy, King Craig, Nazi. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much on behalf of the Carnival Committee. Thank you.
And here's a little bit of Kamal. His song is called, I thought, a very timely and original approach as far as subject matter. about the Christina disaster. You know,
and relevant.
Yes, the
The
perennial.
brilliance of it is that it is relevant,
Yes.
and I don't think any other Kaisonian has
Exactly.
recorded the disaster in history. And this is a way for it to be recorded in history.
Yes.
That is what the Trinidadians did. I lived there for 4 years, and everything that happens, they record it in history via the Kaiso.
Yeah, and I like the name Christina's Honor.
Mm-hmm.
It has that kind of literary ring to it.
Yes.
Was the year 1917, August holiday jubilee, when those vicious waves sunk them to their graves. 'Twas our worst disaster at sea. Because of this calamity, still remains such a mystery. Some say devil's rod, some say hand of God. Yet what's more unsettling to me is why don't we in Sugar City seek to defend a legacy? Have the ripples born from this tragedy divided our country? For here we are, so much years later, crippled by disaster. When will we do better for our dear Christina? I know I is just a young man, so would you help me in a stand? Why such ignorance mixed with negligence seem to affect just one island? Will historians eventually call this murder of some degree? I ain't pointing blame, yet it's a sinking shame to its suffering family. 'Cause if that boat was not fit to float, as signs of force seem to tell, why did no one care to search for repair or a better suited vessel? Here we are, so much years later, crippled by disaster. When will we do better for our dear Christina? I was told that allegedly this thing nearly birthed anarchy. They said the leader in Liamega ain't do nothing for Uali. So then if these claims are true, we are trusting you, Dr. Drew. So we need a plan to unite this land. Our bond depends on you. Christina met her own demise, but we can't let our union die. In memory of her sacrifice, together we must strive. Don't just cry, all the years gone by, we're crippled by disaster. Please let's all do better for our dear Christina. Year 2023, and we still don't see equity. We must right our wrong, for together strong we will attain true sovereignty. May all pestilent emotions be now thrown out to the oceans. And in Christina's honor, we must use our power to mend our federation. It's now time every citizen denounce the topic of secession. Each petition and each division, we need each other to thrive. When we do, we will progress through our traumas from disaster. Please Please let's all do better for our dear Christina. I believe it's time every citizen denounce the topic of secession. Each petition, every division, we need each other to thrive. When we do, we will progress through our traumas from disaster. Please let's all do better. Bridge our two islands closer. Rise up together in the name of our dear Christina.
I think he's a musician in the music, and the only other person with Queen Independent who I've seen done this well is Conway. Conway was a musician who understood music, and so he's a trained musician understanding how to use the elements. So he would have trained his voice. He's not a singer, but he's very articulate.
It's called weaponizing the music because it's a war. It's a musical war. You have to weaponize the
you
music.
realize the theme behind it too. It gives you a very it brings out those emotion about Christina, the natural the disaster that it was.
Yes, and it gives he almost coming out as an advocate for the families. If the boat wasn't suitable to float, it should not have been on the sea. I never even thought about that. I just thought the boat sink.
And the lyrics, boats, suitable floats.
Yes.
It's really witty. Yes.
And the way he used ripples, and you think about water ripples and
what he's
cripple,
setting up
a
himself
lot of
to
really
do is become a musical ambassador.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he continues to write relevant music about our country's history, I mean, you can't do anything but call him to sing.
Yeah. And then at the end of the day, it gives you that assurance, as you say, when we have events and we're looking at historical events, it gives him the opportunity to come in and sing and really give you, because there are some songs you could use even outside of the competition. So many times we have used King Kortensia's song, one song, and those songs that even
that
outside
are timely and timeless.
Yeah,
like this one,
timeless.
this one will be.
Yeah.
Like I imagine every time if I happen to be on the radio. Yeah, or even the day when it
August
happens. Yeah,
1st,
this song is gonna get played.
So it has he has created an anthem.
Thank you.
An anthem for our time, our memorial time.
Hey guys, let's squeeze in a call before traffic talk. We have one call. I'm sure probably someone has something to say.
Yes.
Caller, go right
Caller,
ahead.
go ahead.
Keep it brief. Hello, caller.
Thanks for playing that song there. We got family go down in that, day to us, we swim on them. Listen, play it again now. We want to make a different comment on it, But we like to hear it again to make sure we comment them is what they are to be,
Okay, we'll come back after traffic talk. We have traffic talk coming up in a minute or so. All right?
So we encourage you to stick and stay. Very
and
powerful
I'm sure
message
Kamal
this morning.
Will be welcome back to the studio to talk about this as well.
Yes. In fact, Kamal and Easy, they topped the charts for Soca Monarch eliminations.
It was a joint.
Yes.
Joint top.
Yes.
So he's on
and
a
now,
high this season.
And now for the Calypso elimination, he topped the elimination. So it's really...
Maybe after thing, I'll give the results for Soca.
Yeah.
And giving Soca short shrift. And I'm always the one complaining that Soca gets so short shrift. And I'm doing the same thing.
We
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Morning.
All right. So we're going to take a quick break here from Caribbean Alliance Insurance because they are the sponsors of Traffic Talk. Next.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, Only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Delisle Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
Be careful on the road. Don't make it an episode.
8:32. It's time for Traffic Talk, and it so happens our theme song singer for Traffic Talk was Here Master's second most points at the Eliminations Hollywood. So good morning, Inspector.
Inspector Phipps, she's here in studio. Another Traffic Talk, another Island Tea. How are you doing, Inspector?
Good morning, good morning. It's so nice to be here with you and Miss Charles and Jamster. So I know my day can be very
good.
Yes. And so the topic for today is the offenses that drivers can be charged with for causing the death of another.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So Section 51 of the Vehicle and Road Traffic Act speaks of causing the death by reckless or dangerous driving. And this is where a person caused the death of another person by the driving of a motor vehicle on a road recklessly or at a speed in a manner which is dangerous to the public, having regards of all the circumstances of the case, and these includes the nature and condition of the road. For example, if the road is wet, dry, if there's a steep hill, speed bumps on the road. So I'll repeat. Causing the death by reckless or dangerous driving is where a person caused the death of another person by the driving of a motor vehicle on a road recklessly or at a speed in a manner which is dangerous to the public, having regards all the circumstances of the case, and these includes the nature and condition of the road. For example, if the road is wet, dry, maybe there might be a steep hill and speed bumps on the road. So all this you have to pay attention to when you are driving on the road. Also, if you exceed the speed limit, and a point to note for exceeding the speed limit, the minimum for the speed limit is $250. That's the minimum where you can get a speeding ticket. However, an additional $100 for every 10 miles exceeding the speed limit above the first 10 miles. So what this is basically saying, if you are traveling in, let's say, a village is 20 miles per hour, and you might be going 30. So from 20 to 30, that's 10. So that first 10 mile is not being charged. Anything after that 10 miles would attract $100. So you're going, let's say, 50 miles in a 20 zone. So, from 20 to 30, that's cool. From 30 to 40, that's 100. From 40 to 50, that's another 100. So there you look at a ticket of $450. And it can go up.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Where there might be road construction or pothole on the road. Sometimes we know that the road having potholes and we still disregard all that and drive recklessly on the road. Also, the amount of traffic which is actually at the time or which is expected on the road, example, vehicle, pedestrian, and animals. And we all know how we as drivers drive at times. We sometimes have no regards for other vehicle and pedestrian and, of course, animals, because we know animals too make up a part of the
And
traffic.
so that charge, as you said, Inspector, is caused by reckless or dangerous driving because it puts in the position that the individual will have been aware or ought to have been aware of the conditions and circumstances before driving and during the time that they drove, and the examples given there.
So the road not fixed and I liable?
In the sense that you are aware that the road is in the condition where it is
But
not...
how you going to prove I aware?
Well, there is a subjective and objective test. And so whether or not a reasonable driver would have done what you did.
Go ahead, Inspector. Teach me things.
Also, we have section 50, section 50, subsection 4, and this is causing the death by careless driving. And this is where a person caused the death of another person by driving a motor vehicle without due care and attention or reasonable consideration for other persons using the road. In simple terms, it's a driving without due care and attention is where the person's driving fails below the standard of that is expected of a competent and prudent driver. That's mean they just ignore totally all the
Speeding,
road,
overtaking.
everything. Driving that does not show reasonable consideration for other persons using the road or pathway. That's, as I said, they ignore all the rules of the road and for other road users. They know the speed limit in this area is 20 and they still go at 50. Person passing and they just don't care. They just ignore.
They got the music loud so they can't concentrate.
And if convicted, you'll not spend a term for more than 3 years. 3 years. You could go to prison for 3 years.
Wow.
Someone on the Facebook has asked, will someone have to make a report and be prepared to go to court as a witness in order for the police to enforce the speeding rule?
We always on the road. That's one thing. We always on the road issuing speed ticket. We always on the road doing VCP, vehicle checkpoints, and these include the issuing of tickets and other traffic offenses and other offenses that
And
we
keeping
see.
us safe on the road.
That's true. Safety is paramount. And some of the offense or some of the things that we do that causes us to get into accident are the use of mobile phone or electronic devices while driving. Driving knowing that our vehicle has is dangerous and have some sort of defects.
So if your brakes ain't working,
Go
And
and get
you-
it fixed.
okay.
Go and get it fixed.
Because you can't say you knocked down somebody because your brakes wasn't working.
That's your negligence. You are
Okay.
to check your vehicle and ensure that at least your brakes is one of the fundamental on your vehicle that you are to check daily. Driving impaired by the consumption of alcohol and drunk. That is, drink and drive. We know some persons tend to go party and they don't have a designated driver, and so they feel like, oh, I could drive and get home. No, you don't know what may happen. Always remember that accidents are not planned. Also, driving when deprived of adequate sleep. Sometimes we are sleepy, and as I may call you, Michelle, and you get out your house and you're so sleepy before you reach to Azard, bam, something happened. So all these are contributors to accident.
How about if I have a seizure? I'm sick and I have a seizure behind the wheel and I knock down somebody. Am I liable because I'm sick?
Well, it all depends on the doctor's report and the investigation into the matter.
Yeah, and those are actually what you mentioned is basically defenses as well that you could use in relation to that matter. There's a defense with
Automism.
yes, and there are other defenses that if the situation allows and it falls within the elements to constitute that defense, then you won't be liable for this.
Okay.
Yeah. But there are some defenses, and something that you said actually falls in one type of
So
defense.
if I have a seizure or, I'm ill, I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
Okay.
The law contemplates that already and have a remedy in
Okay.
terms of a defense. But it must be something that's genuine, and it must be,
So you can't be like Michelin and good and then I make it up all of a sudden I got a seizure.
So it has to be.
I mean, on a history and a seizure.
Exactly.
I went in up and down the place, I knocked on somebody, all of a sudden I sick.
Yes.
So that's why the doctor report is very important. So it would show whether you
Yes.
if you actually had a seizure or.
I'm looking up story.
And your counsel will be prepared to advance your defense in relation to that.
Okay.
So far for the year from January to 31st October, we on St. Kitts we had a total of, the Federation had a total of 1,131 accidents with 6 road fatality. And as I said, from January to October. So Nevis had a total of 323 with 1 road fatality.
Is
And
that the
we all
one
know-
that happened recently?
No.
Oh.
As of Saturday now, we would have had another one add to the statistics, bringing us to 7 road fatality for the year, with St. Kitts being on 5 and Nevis have 2. So far, and I will give you the breakdown of the accidents in St. Kitts, how we deal with it. Bastia, when I said Bastia, this is what the traffic department deals with. So far, the traffic department had recorded or dealt with 644 traffic accidents, and these are accidents that are reported. And these are from January to October 31st. Cayon would have dealt with 90. Tabernacle would have dealt with 26. Dateby 43. Sandy Point 89. Old Road 86. Stapleton 78. And Frigate Bay 75. And these are accidents just from January to the 31st of October.
Wow.
So traffic department dealt with 644 accidents with 3 road fatality. Sandy Point with 89 with 1 road fatality, and Old Road with one road fatality. And I said Nevis 323 with 1 road fatality. That is up to the 31st of October. And so as of today, they would have added 1 more road fatality to their statistics.
Wow.
And this is the young man I saw on social media. I don't know him, but Father Jesus, protect us.
So it's not an easy task, but as I said, I would continue, me and my team and the other officers within the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force, we will continue to enforce the traffic laws, and we'll continue to educate the general public. It is our duty, and I love doing it, and so I will continue. But when it comes to road fatality, it just sinks me.
Yeah, and you think about it, and we have programs such as this one, and the thing about it, you educate. I'm sure you go to another radio station, you speak about the same thing, and it happens. It continues to happen, and even though we talk, it doesn't always change behavior, and so persons lose their lives. But it's just a constant reminder that as we speak about an issue, there goes another individual who might be driving not with all the caution necessary for them to return safely.
And I think the last time the inspector was here, there was another fatality with the motorcycle. How do we connect the idea to the public, the motor public, that the life you save might just be your own? Because to have 6 lives gone, 6 young lives gone, fathers, mothers, sisters, aunties, uncles gone, because you were not careful enough is a hard pill to swallow.
You know, presently we are in the process of doing some public awareness where we will have some billboards where it said like overtakers, undertakers love overtakers.
Ooh.
Yes, so we are in the process of getting
like
those
that.
done, and we're going to be posting them at the appropriate places. So we
That's
are just
very witty. Yes.
Yes, and if you realize, I spoke of 1, 2, 3, 4, three, well, more than 3 examples, and if you look carefully at what I said or listen carefully at one or 2 or more is contributors to these road fatalities.
Yeah.
And this comes from the investigative data.
Say that again so people could hear.
I said I've mentioned, I think I need to go over them. I said 1, person should be mindful of using a mobile phone or other electronic devices while driving. Driving knowing that the vehicle has a dangerous defects or is dangerously. Driving at a speed that is inappropriate for the road or weather conditions. Driving impaired by consumption of alcohol or drugs. Driving impaired as a result of a known medical condition and or disregarding advice relating to the effects of medical conditions or medication.
Carla, you're live. Go
And
ahead.
I'll continue driving when deprived of adequate sleep or rest and disregarding warning from others, whether it's your own or the road users, pedestrians, we tend to ignore warnings. And as I said, if you listen carefully and from an investigative standpoint, 1 or more of these that I just said were contributor factors to some of the accidents that we investigated.
So if there are persons out there who wish to weigh in on the topic at hand, they have the opportunity to do so via the phone lines. Call in. We want to hear from you and what you have to say here in Traffic Talk. It's very important.
And so what the inspector is saying, well, I wouldn't say that she's saying this. I am saying this. If you know that a vehicle is faulty and you are expressing to the driver, please fix it. It is not safe. You're putting yourself at risk, and I love you. You're carrying the children to school, and I love you, and they're not listening. Call the police. Because sometimes chastisement, not sure if chastisement is a word, but it's a word this morning, is important to save lives. If you love somebody and you see them constantly driving and texting or driving and talking, no matter how long the line in the traffic is, rub their hand and gently remind them, texting and driving is dangerous. You're putting me at risk. And maybe you might not die, it might be me. I might end up an amputee. So all of us have a responsibility and a part to play in keeping ourselves and others safe on the road, because the things that I'm hearing the inspectors say almost always sound preventable. And if the person doesn't have self-control, help control them. Fix it. Go ahead, Inspector.
So, let's not wait until our loved ones, our children, our moms, our aunts, our sisters take that last ride and then said, oh, if I had known. Let us reach out to all and always remember the life you save can be your own.
We have the phone call. Go ahead, you're live.
Good morning, Alan Fish.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Now, I just want to ask the inspector a question, Inspector Fitz. Now, Inspector Fitz, when these young men, any middle-aged person get in an accident, you all test the breath to see if the drugs or alcohol or what caused these accidents. Because when they post up some of these young man pictures and you see their face, you understand? Some of them all could hardly open. The picture is a picture. The thing. So I want to know if you all really check the breath, whether they use drugs or they use alcohol or whatever. Because some of these accidents would occur. I believe sometimes that these people are in the alcohol or something. You know? So I just call in to say that, and wonderful program as usual, and update the federation. And with the Calypso, so I want to commend the young man. Me know him, but I will get to know him because I will sing. Anyway, Michelina, you have a wonderful day. Mister,
so,
God bless you and continue to do a good job.
Yes, sir. And with regards to your question, yes, we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes, we do request that toxology report or testing.
Thank you so much for your call, caller. Anything else you'd like to touch, Inspector?
Well, I would just repeat.
Oh, we have another call. Caller, you're live.
Good morning. Just for clarification, is the police officer saying that you don't become ticketable driving through a village until you exceed 29 miles per hour?
I think she was referring to speeding.
And giving an
speed
example.
limit is 20 miles per hour.
Mm-hmm. No, she was saying the additional $100. She's saying if you go over the speed limit, there's $250 charge, and then an additional $100 for every 10 miles.
So it's 250 once you exceed 20 miles per hour, and
or any limit. So if there's
after.
any limit, it couldn't be more. She was just giving the example of 20, but let's say it was 40, then and you are 44, then it'll be $250. And then
but if you're 30, it's 250 plus 100.
No. If you are traveling to a village, always remember that the speed limit within a village is 20 miles per hour.
Right.
Now the minimum for a speeding ticket is $250. So if you are going, let's say, 30 miles within a 20-mile zone, your ticket will only be $250. Because the first 10 miles exceeding the speed limit is free of charge. It's not charged. But anything exceeding that first 10 miles is an additional $100.
Oh, okay. All right. So anything over 20 is $250.
Yes, the minimum.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think it's also important to know that anything over the required limit is the 250. I think he was sticking on the 20 which was as an example. Yes. So anything else you'd like to add, Inspector?
I will go over causing the death by careless driving. I would repeat it. And I said causing the death by careless driving is where a person causes the death of another person by the driving of a motor vehicle without due care and attention or reasonable consideration for other persons using the road. And we always have callers calling about reasonable consideration. So
we have two calls. Okay. Go ahead, caller. Caller, you there? Go ahead, live. You're live. Go ahead, speak, caller.
Good morning, host.
Good morning.
Traffic Inspector.
Good morning, sir.
I've noticed the other day, driving through the country, a lot of overtaking is going on, especially traveling east, going west. A lot of overtaking is going on. Could you step up a bit on the traffic patrolling and catch some of these people, you know, and step up a bit on the traffic points. I recommend that you recommend that the traffic fines be upgraded.
Okay, caller, but presently we are reviewing some of the traffic laws, and so they will be out shortly. We are doing some amendments.
Yeah, try and get more traffic patrol going on in the countryside and the road, and the country road. Too much overtaking and speeding.
Okay, caller, thank you very much, and we'll have that done.
Thank you for your call. Yes, Inspector?
So I'm appealing to all. We know this is the festive season, and please drive with due care and attention. Drive with reasonable consideration. Remember, you're not driving for yourself. You're driving for all road users and persons who are traveling, whether you are in a public service vehicle, a private vehicle, and you realize your driver probably exceeding the speed limit, just nicely tap him. You don't have to be rough. Just say, remember the speed limit. Remember, we want to reach back home safe, and so we want to live to see many, many more. So, and always remember and keep in mind that the life you save can be your very own.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think that concludes our segment here on Traffic Talk. It's been a very enlightening discussion here this morning, even though the topic has been quite heavy. What you could be charged with in terms of, reckless driving and causing death of another, careless driving as well.
Inspector Phipps is an ambassador of the police force excellence. And I really appreciate how the audience is treating her these days. To see that, she shows up, she takes it when it's not hers to take, quite gracefully, and she keeps giving information.
Thank you, Inspector.
When you catch him speeding, deal with him hard.
He don't get the phone call.
Thank you so much, Inspector. Have a wonderful Monday. Yes.
What's your emergency? It's better late than never. So why all the hurry? Speeding is the main cause.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Delisle Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
Found the sound 98.9 FM.
Dreaming of that perfect getaway? Hop aboard the McCanna Ferry to the breathtaking islands of Saba, Statia, St. Martin, and St. Kitts. Embark on a delightful journey and enjoy sun-kissed beaches, vibrant cultures, and unforgettable experiences. Visit McCannaFerryService.com to book your island hopping adventure today.
Don't struggle this Christmas. The Bank of Nevis has the perfect loan just for you. Life may not be perfect, but this holiday season, the Bank of Nevis is making it better with an unsecured loan of up to $40,000. Use it for home renovations, furniture and appliances, travel, carnival costumes, and any other family expense. Borrow up to $40,000 and make your Christmas dreams come true. No down payment, no security requirement. Interest rate is the most competitive in the market, and your loan application will be fast-tracked. Payment deferred for 1 month after approval, and you have up to 5 years to repay. Get your holiday fund started with this great financing of up to $40,000 from the Bank of Nevis. Offer ends December 31st. Visit the nearest Bank of Nevis branch today.
Terms and conditions apply.
50,000?
$50,000? Win big with TDC. Win up to $50,000 cash in the TDC Mega Rewards Mega Raffle. To enter, you must be a Mega Rewards member or sign up to TDC Mega Rewards Loyalty Program. Shop at our TDC retail stores or online at shoptdcgroup.com to receive one entry for every $250 spent. Draws take place from July to November. Win $10,000 every month with your entry rolled over so you can win even more.
Yes, this is 50.
Terms and conditions apply.
And we are back. By the way, Merry Christmas, everyone.
So we're back on Island Tea, and just over the weekend, there was an interview just last evening with Mervyn Hanley and the Honorable Sean Richards. In fact, I see something being circulated by St. Kitts Nevis Times, which gives a short synopsis or the analysis of the interview, and it says Honorable Sean Richards reveals shocking insights with explosive interview with THG Network. And it says, in a riveting interview with the THG Network, former Deputy Prime Minister and PAM leader Honorable Sean Richards dropped bombshells about the future of PAM, suggesting that success in upcoming election might hinge on a coalition considerations with opposition parties. Here he says, coalition contemplation. Richards acknowledged the potential need for coalition among opposition forces for PAM's success. However, he emphasized that the will of the people will bring about change, that the will of the people to bring about change often prevails, recalling his own victory in 2004, despite prior setbacks. Talks about headings of prime ministership offer decline. He said stunningly Richards disclosed rejecting offers for the prime ministership from PAM and CCM members. He justified this decision, citing a commitment made in 2020 election campaign that Team Unity would continue under the successful leadership of the third prime minister, Dr. Honorable Timothy Harris. He also says proud political legacy, says expressing pride in his unmatched political legacy within PAM and nationally. Richards highlighted his success from a young age. Despite winning at 31, he clarified that politics wasn't intended as a career and he remains open to new leadership. It also says uncertain political landscape. That's the heading. It says Richards' revelation add intrigue to the political landscape, leaving questions about potential alliances, leadership shifts, and the dynamic future of PAM in St. Kitts and Nevis. So that was a recap basically from the St. Kitts Nevis Times perspective. I don't know how many persons out there listened to the interview. I don't know if persons want to call in and speak about the interview and what they gathered from the interview. I don't know if you, Michelina, have any insights as it relates to the interview. Any questions?
I just can't manage, Sean. And I say that very colloquially to express a nuance. The interview was an hour long, so that's me giving an hour of my time. A leader is not positional authority. A leader is a choice. Leadership is a choice. You are making a choice to bring about positive change. And the constant call for the Honorable Dr. Drew to resign and to score him, that is for me to do. You are a political leader with a legacy to uphold, resources behind you, a movement, people who are being led willingly by you. What change, what solution, what contribution are you making to the country? The political commentary is for me. A leader has a responsibility to demonstrate value adding to the country and solutions. That is how I see the rhetoric. It's rhetoric, but you have a responsibility. All parties and all of them, in some area or the other, would be getting failing grades. Every single one of them, including the two in Nevis. However, political leaders, and whether you use a Sunday school leader, a priest, a Rotary leader, you have a responsibility to make change happen, to add solutions via action. And I'm not seeing that from the People's Action Movement. I'm barely seeing it from PLP. And yes, you don't have the government treasury, so that is a slight disadvantage. But I want to see your voice being credible in the discourse and in the nation's development.
So what is your view? Because there are many persons who would say and agree with this view, and I agree with this view as well, that it is not the duty of the opposition to create government policy. Leader Richards indicated that in his interview that there were things that, and one of the issues that he touched was crime, and the peace program indicating that during
the Elevate program,
that it is known now, but then the peace. And so as he recollected, he stated, and Mervyn asked him the question that, you know, at the time you saw a decrease in homicide, and he said, yes, you saw the decrease in homicides. He talked about, Mervyn asked a question about whether or not he thought that it would have been something sustainable in terms of pain. And he said, well, at the time, you realize the value because there was a decrease in the number of homicides. Usually a program to see whether it's effective would give you like a 5-year period. Unfortunately, that was not able to be seen. In addition to that,
I hear you, Azard, but what I can't manage about it, you are a leader. And so if you are a leader and you don't have a national budget and national resources, and the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, from my perspective, I don't know, everything is falling short of this as well. What community outreach group going on in Sandy Point and the constituency of number 5? What crime reduction mechanisms are you actioning as a leader in your community to make the whole country safe from your little corner? Drew is failing, but if your position is only going to tell me about his failure, but I can mark your report card to say, well, yes, he gave him some good points and he deserved to fail, but look at what the Honorable Sean Richards is doing in number 5. What are you talking for? Is me the talking for, not you. You are a leader, and leadership means you are accountable to action, every single one of them.
So you're saying you're asking for more action?
Action. Stop it. Leave the talking for the political commentators, the radio hosts. It is awesome to have opinions and emotions, but as a leader, we have a right to receive action. Action to make the change that you want to see happen. That is what leadership is. Up to now, me and see St. Peter's get the care that they deserve. A double murder. And me and see the community outreach in care may be happening and may not because me in number 8. But our whole community traumatized. And there's a silence. Again, we're seeing all of these diplomatic outreach Every minute there's somewhere in the sky and somewhere else coming for me one plastic bag.
Right now they're in Dubai, Mishi.
Up and down the players. But the people in St. Peter's who paying for the ticket, whose names that they're there on behalf of, not receiving the community care. Maybe they're receiving the care and nobody invite me to tell me. Maybe they're receiving the care. But the country is not seeing it. And not just the community of St. Peter's. The country just witnessed a double murder. We too are traumatized and need some sort of security. What we need to feel safe in the security measures.
Mm-hmm. And that is one thing that I have said too. When persons will say, oh, and what the opposition is doing and why persons are blaming the government. And my stance has always been that it is for government to use the resources that they have to make the people safe, because government has at its disposal most of the resources that we have.
Yes, but it can't be government alone. It has to be a partnership according to the Sustainable Development Goal number 17. The UN has dictated. It has to be a partnership to achieve the goal. The Bastia High School had a dinner? 6 o'clock, Saturday. School done. Teachers up there serving food, teachers cooking and bringing food. The ministry has a mandate to finance this school. I don't believe in the nonsense about them kind of fundraising. I don't believe in it. But they are responsible stewards for that institution that have it at heart. And so a demonstration of their leadership is, okay, we're not going to get the funding, the adequate funding from the Ministry of Education. And so the community leaders in the Bastia High School, in the Washington Archibald High School, in the Beach Allen Primary are going to take action to make the financial change happen, to get the resources for the school.
You mentioned the Honorable Sean Richards and his constituency. He is the representative for constituency number 5. So I get that point. And so from what you're saying too is perhaps other leaders in their own community could be given some sort of assistance.
Could be given some sort of assistance from the time you take the role of leadership. If you are going to say you are a community leader in any capacity, a leader in any capacity, your job then becomes to make change happen. If you are going to visualize, vocalize, talk about something you want to see happen, leadership means you're going to build community, lead community to make this change happen. It must be an all hands on deck approach, because I just show you in education where not the minister, not the ministry, but the leaders within the organization who understands we are not getting the financial support that we need. The sector is not income generating, so they have to go and sell the food for $25 a crate. Beach Allen just put up on their Facebook they're going to have a breakfast Saturday morning, school close.
We have a call. Caller, you're live on Island T. Give us your perspective, your view. We welcome it.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I agree, Michelina. It shouldn't be government alone, but it should be government-led. Because they're the ones with the resources. Okay? They're the ones who are supposed to provide the leadership to get the all-of-society approach and everybody on board. Okay? I agree, though, that the opposition has been pretty lame. Okay? Very quiet for an opposition, I find. The leadership of Sean Richards, I think, has been very timid. It has been timid from the start. That is why, for instance, I don't know any politician being offered power by prime ministership, any political leader being offered prime ministership on a platter and going to turn it down. You know, that's timidity for you. Okay? I don't know. I haven't listened to the interviews yet. I'll get to it on YouTube. I think it's posted. But at this point, I suspect that he may be going through some introspection on whether or not to continue as leader of the party, right? Because clearly under his leadership, I remember when Pam was part of the Unity Coalition first, he basically said, well, we were in opposition under my leadership, and now we're in power. We're part of government. And it was almost as if he had arrived and was not really aspiring to anything else. Right? And unfortunately, for both the party and the country, we saw the results, the bad results that then went on to show themselves. One thing before the break, before traffic talk, that calypso, it was really interesting because what it really suggested is that the best way to honor the sacrifice of all those people who died is for St. Kitts and Nevis to come together as one and forget secession. Now that's a big sell, I think, especially for the vision. Okay, and in the current environment, I don't know that it's going to happen. I wish it would happen, because I think the two islands really should stay together. They complement each other. But bearing in mind the fact that you've seen so many machinations and reversals. It would take 180 degree from Brantley, for instance, because initially he started out as a secessionist. So it's going to be a really hard sell, and I don't think his calling on Dr. Jew to implement or to do whatever is necessary to bring it about. That's fine, and I hope he does it, but I don't see the impetus for constitutional reform that this is going to take. It can't be about personalities, because these personalities can change. Okay, it has to be about the system, the constitution itself. That's going to bring about the change that is needed. And as you can see, nobody's talking about constitutional reform. At least I'm not hearing the talk about it. Okay, and we can't, like I said, we just can't depend on personalities.
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
caller.
Right?
To the AG's credit, from my observation, he's one of the more productive ministers with his portfolio. At first, he was a bit too much for my liking, but I think observation over time, he's been diligent to the task in using his resources. He was too much for my liking.
You're talking about constitutional reform, or
what I'm saying is the AG, when you observe his work, agree with it or don't agree with it, he's one of the most productive ministers in cabinet. He's doing
and
things.
you're putting it in his lap, you're saying? You think he's the one
I'm saying this would be something that should be led by him. I stand to be corrected if needs be. I'm saying that he's doing work. I can't tell you I like the work that he's doing, but he's doing work. I'm not always in agreement with it, but he's doing work.
But again, you're boiling down to personalities, right? Which can change, right? Depending on the what they call it, exigencies.
I think
at the moment.
I think in fairness to him, he's doing work.
Something like constitutional reform should not be left to the AG.
No, led
right?
by
Led
by
by.
the office.
Okay.
Not left to him. It's too much, and it affects too much persons. I said in observing all of their portfolios, the AG for me, the Honorable Gart Wilkin, is one of the more productive ministers for me, from my
you
observation.
realize, of course, that he represents the federal government, which is essentially the St. Kitts side of things. as opposed to, I mean, who would be his counterpart in Nevis?
Well, he is
that's the thing,
he
you see
is
that.
the Attorney General of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Okay, so you think he'll come up with some proposals that would change it? Because you see, if we don't do that, what's going to happen is that when the personalities change, we're still stuck with the same thing, and every now and again things going to flare up.
But Mr.
We
McMahon,
don't want that.
You realize that here in St. Kitts and Nevis is more or less a cycle. We start something, some other new administration comes in, we stop, we try with that, we do over, and then another administration comes, we try with that, and so there's really no completion, at least for some time. A lot of things that we wish would be completed.
But something like this,
Yes.
though, which is so fundamental to the existence of both islands.
I agree.
You'd think that on both sides of the channel, there'd be some kind of impetus towards making sure we settle this thing once and for all, rather than depending on the opportunities that present themselves. You take one position or another. What, of course, would be a big solution to the problem is a bridge, right? Because then but again, that might be a problem for division politicians in particular, because they can't stand the thought of Nevis becoming just another constituency, you know? Like Sandy Point, or I mean, if Sandy Point could have seceded, they probably would have, right, Azard?
But I think I see what you say with the bridge, but it would bring, a physical connection in terms of us just driving over, being able to move. And I think they could use it to remain with the constituencies rather than being in Nevis.
And I feel that's a powerful psychological thing. If we had that physical connection,
Right, and hopefully it becomes more than just an idea. It's been moved a lot, but
I think if any of this is going to be realized, we have the perfect person in the Attorney General to lead this. I spent some time observing and analyze, me and my team, the positioning of most of the cabinet ministers, and I think he comes from the wealth of legal knowledge. He's independently, I wouldn't say, another caller.
Yeah. Okay, we have another call.
Yeah. Good morning again.
Good morning.
You all hear me good?
Yes, politics, we're hearing you.
Yeah. Now, Micheline, I so agree with you. Let me tell you something. That when you got a weak opposition, you got a strong government. And even if you got a weak government, you got a strong government when you got a weak opposition. I am agree with you. These opposition leaders supposed to take part in a lot of things. You understand? They're supposed to come out. But a party like PAM for 50-something years, contesting election, and a political party for that time, I believe that PAM was supposed to be more stronger and more in touch with the people, with what's going on. But you ain't hearing nothing at all from them. You hearing us. As far as I'm concerned, is we the people of the opposition, in this country,
That's a brilliant point, politics. That is a brilliant point.
Yeah, it's we coming out and speaking out what's going on and whatever. We can with criticism and criticize constructively or whatsoever. As I said, that I ain't coming on from the way they become abused, nobody like long time. I come in and attack the wrong things and the ills I see going on in the country about my people. And we're supposed to do that. But when we pick you as an opposition leader, a party for 50-something years, and you out there, things happening and people out there crying out, and you ain't coming saying anything as a leader. You understand? It make it look bad. I'm a good PLP, is a young party. I don't know if PLP going to be around for the next election, but I know that it's a young party, right? I don't hear not much about PLP from PLP, but I know that there's a young party, and I don't know if PLP going to take over the next second reign
PLP gonna be alive and well, man. They're gonna be. I'm not a PLP, but they're gonna be alive and well.
As the second political party. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm weak. And they need to get some strength. Because the people need them. The country need them, I must say. Because when you, as I say, when you got a weak party, a strong government, a weak government is strong because you ain't have no position to contest it. Anyway, wonderful program.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your contribution.
Let me just put something out there in terms of the three leaders. If we had to measure the Honorable Comrade Leader, Dr. Terence Drew, we have to measure Sean, and we have to measure the Honorable Timothy Harris.
Honorable Sean.
Sean Richards?
Yes, Richards.
Sorry. No, this is why I just give them nicknames. You know, the protocol is so intense.
Do realize that slip says a lot. That slip speaks volumes, right?
What, Sean?
Given the discussion we're having now.
Lord, you see why
the slip comparative to the other two.
Anyways, some people I love are okay? And are waiting for an invite to something. A Christmas party? Azard gonna invite me to a Pam Christmas party. Anyways, we
have a barbecue on Saturday.
It's a ticket?
Yes.
Okay, so give me a ticket and I'm gonna come. I think I'm gonna make the people in love me. Anyways,
we have a call. You want to take a call?
Let me just say this one thing. If you put all the three political leaders to stand on their own merit.
Just hang on, Elder. Let her finish her point.
If you put all the three political leaders to stand on their own merit, Timothy is the elder statesman. If you put them to stand on their own merit, not look at them through political and popular frame, Timothy Harris is the elder statesman. Put all three of them.
Caller, you're live on Island T.
Okay, first thing, I'm to echo that song and to play that song. You know what we love to see, leaders in the Prime Minister's office, where they don't spend so much time, right, on the tit for tat, like when opposition say blah, them they're ready to say way. I would like to see our Prime Ministers, present and future, focus on the job at hand and more. And don't pay so much attention to them chit chat like tit for that thing. Yeah? Yeah. Get down.
Okay, Elder.
Thank you so much for your contribution.
I have a comment here good morning. Michelina is correct. Sean by now should have had a foundation or the like to do things practically. He should have established networks to attract resources.
You need an active tribe in order to have influence in the community. Anybody that does marketing knows that. And to build an active tribe takes time. You can't come out as a leader continuously talking. And when you listen to him talk, it's always almost very emotive. He doesn't have that calm temperament, self-control temperament of a leader. He's always very emotional and resign. Like, that is not practical. Nobody resigning. Everybody who grow up in around politics, the elders would tell you, if you want something, you have to take it. Did I say, Michelina, if you want something, take it. Nobody giving you nothing. Especially you. So if you want to make trouble, Michelina, go ahead and make trouble. Just make sure it's good trouble so we could cover you. So you have a responsibility to action and demonstrate your leadership. Come and tell me that Comrade Leader Drew is doing a poor job in crime and compare it to what you are doing in your community. Leave the political commentary for me. Shut off your action. Tell me what you're doing. Even if it is a small amount, you're teaching a Sunday school. But you have a responsibility to activate your base. It's political science. It's smart strategy. We're intelligent enough now to watch them, all three of them. That is why number 7 is what number 7 is. That is why number 6 is what number 6 is. Because you spend your time in politics on good governance and politicking, you're building up your community. a police station there working, a fire truck there, a this there, a that there, a hotel there. You have to build up your base to action, to move on the raise of your hand. Put a mentorship program, go down in Sandy Point High School and do a mentorship program under the auspices of the Honorable Sean Richards.
Hazel looks bemused.
I'm listening, you know.
I know.
I'm listening because, you know, I am an active member of the People's Action Movement. I'm the chairman too. So I'm listening to Michelina give her comments. I'm trying just to see, because sometimes you have to just look and observe what is going on.
And
so
make sure action happening in number 4.
Yes. So I am listening. I don't want it to be said because this is not a PAM radio show, and so if it were a PAM radio show, then it would have been a different atmosphere. Yeah. But Micheline is expressing what she's expressing, so and she has her opinion.
So it would have been bacchanal, like.
Yes.
I don't think it needs to be bacchanal. But
I'm just kidding.
Yes.
I'm just playing.
But the call for our leaders to be leaders in action and not just in title is a way in which we can change the country for the better. To hold them accountable, not to 2 years or 18 months before the election, you start to see them walking the road and telling you all kind of things they did, and we know 80% of them wasn't functional.
Okay, let's take this call before we go to the break. 932, caller, go right ahead.
Caller. Call in.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning to everybody, man. How you guys doing?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, my contribution is, right, concerning this discussion here. To me, Sinkis and Nevis is deadlocked across the barrels right now. The opposition is not strong at all. That's not really good for democracy because they're not really holding the present government feet to the fire enough. Whenever the issues come up, the national issues come up, what I want to see, if the masses of the people doesn't like what they're seeing in some particular areas, one of the ways to really put pressure on the government is to go in the street and protest, peaceful protest, that is, peaceful protest. And I haven't been seeing none of that really happening in Sinkis and Nevis. It's said that a lot of persons are very intimidated about their jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah, man,
but we need to get past that situation.
Caller, you know,
if there's a need for protest, people should be having the courage to go in the street and do that.
Yeah. Let me say this too, because you make a good point. A lot of times persons come and you know, as a member of a party, they come and they say, this is happening, that is happening. And oftentimes they themselves, they're feeling the squeeze and they don't want to come to give support to the cause, even if it's their cause. For example, they might they might be feeling some sort of discrimination or what's not. And of course they want you to speak on it, but then sometimes when you speak and you don't have that source of information, it comes off maybe not as credible as it ought to be, or it comes off as you're just talking. Whereas if you have that individual who is feeling the squeeze and you said, this is the individual, listen to their comments, we are supporting this individual, this is not right. A lot of persons, they themselves don't want to speak up.
But Azard, me and you have this conversation off air all the time.
I agree with you with that. I agree with you with that. What happened is the people got to realize they're the ones that got the power in their hands. You know what I'm saying? Not the politicians. You know what I mean? Once you demonstrate peacefully, it's nothing could be held against you because you wasn't violent in the streets and stuff like that. You know what I mean? We got to just keep in mind, keep it peaceful. And what happened, there has been a lot of national issues, and I haven't seen the leaders of the parties, well, we said 3 of them, they haven't really come together. Even in my mind, even though Team Unity fell apart, they should be able to still maintain some type of cohesion as the opposition. You know what I'm saying? Because they still got to represent the people who put them there. That's one of the things that I wanted to point out. You know, Timothy ain't talking to Mark ain't talking to Timothy, and back and forth. You know, them guys got to get past that stuff, man. They got to do their job in the opposition sphere. You know what I mean? And I just want to see stuff like that happening, man. And you know, we wait and we look and we wait and we look on, because like the lady says there, The people, the electorates are smart enough now where they can keep their eyes on these guys. And if they don't want to do the right thing, we just replace them because they're being recycled anyway. The young persons in St. Kitts and Nevis, they got to step up politically, man, to do what they got to do and contribute to their own society. You know what I mean? But it's a lot to
agree.
talk about and there's a lot to said, man. But
Thank
we
you
wait and
very
watch
much.
and see. It's still this term is still young, so we wait and watch and see.
Thank you very much.
All right. So I'll come back in later, man, if I have something else to say. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you
Azard,
so much.
you and I have this conversation
Yes, we
off
do.
air. For me and you to stand up and have these conversations, there are consequences that we endure.
Yes.
I am certain that I on at least 3 hit lists. I just ain't ready to talk about the experiences yet, but a time will come to tell those tales. But there's a consequence for me being on air. And I'm sure next year the consequences will increase, and I'm feeling it. All over, I'm feeling it. So we have to...
And a lot of persons are just like that. A lot of persons are fearful, and rightfully so, because they fear being victimized. They fear to speak out against something that they
Because the
see.
victimization is real, Azard.
It
I
is.
tell you, I'm on at least... I swear to God, Michelina on at least 3 hit lists. And I'm feeling the consequences professionally.
And that's the thing, and that's why that's
You're
why
gonna have to do like that guy. You're gonna have to beg the Americans for refugee status.
Not a thing, but so.
And this is why sometimes, and this is why oftentimes my thought is that I like small government, where it is that the private sector blossoms and individuals blossom, because if you have less dependency on government, then you are not afraid to speak out and keep government accountable, because you have pillars that would support
But
you.
the culture, Azad, the culture is not like that. Like, I am telling you, I am literally on at least 3 hit lists. This is my government. I am Comrade Labour Michelina on 3 hit lists. But I wasn't socialized to have an independent thought. Look who I be and where I come from. Where is the independence going to come from, Azad? Because in all political parties, the first base you have to convince is your family. That is what they tell you. Make sure when you're going out there to tell people to vote, everybody in your house voting. And so that is a part of the system and the machinery where, let's say I grew up Labour. The understanding is my family is dependent on Labour, and if not me directly, I must action and behave a certain way because I'm protecting my brother and I'm protecting my auntie. So sometimes you have to hold your speech, not just for yourself, but you have an obligation to your family.
And as I said before, someone who is not Kittitian indicated to me they're from the Caribbean, you know, politics are brutal, because in terms when you speak out, it's like...
3 hit lists I've had, 3.
It's like
January gone before.
They want to annihilate you.
Very
Professionally, it's as if, okay then, so you know that there is nothing, no opportunity that is going to come, and there, and it's...
The opportunity comes, Victimization comes with an opportunity, because if I wasn't on the 3 hit list like I'm on the 3 hit list, I would have never had the opportunity to grow the understanding of politics that I'm growing. I would have never had the opportunity to pivot and to build myself as I have to, because I'm no longer favored. Well, me think I was ever favored how things working out. No, I think that was my delusion. But you get an understanding and a respect for self-reliance, because the decision I'm making now is that my voice belongs to me. You know how powerful that is? You know the consequences of saying my voice belongs to me. I, Michelina Lotta Name, is an equal opportunity critic. So when Uncle Tim do something, and he come under my radar, he is to get it from A to L minus P. When Comrade Leader do something, he gonna get it from C down to Q. When Sean do something, and I, Michelina, is now an independent thinker in the political arena. That is a dangerous individual. And you know what they just do when they perceive you as a threat? They just put you on hit list. It's a very peculiar space to occupy. When I come off the radio and I walk in the street, the comrade them start to watch me side eye, you know. But there is also a different audience. Like the other day, Saturday, I was in Value Mart and this man just walked up to me, this obsaki looking man that I never seen in my life. Michelina keep being you. I don't know him, I never see him, and he keep walking. I see him outside and mother start to tell me, Lord Michelina, my heart does feel so happy to hear you on the radio because A, B, C, D, element of Q, the quadratic equation, and 1, 2, 3. And so I am placed in this predicament where I feel like I'm labor without a movement because me taking off the red shirt, I don't care if you don't like
Hey,
me.
P comes after Q. After, I mean, P comes after O, sorry.
But I'm choosing to have ownership of my voice.
Yes.
And it will not be co-opted by anybody. May want nothing from you. May want a status, may want a job, may want a position, may want a thing. Because I would have invested and had to reap a consequence that made me realize, hey, Michelina, if you're going to play in this masquerade, you better own your own feathers.
Preach.
If you're going to play in the masquerade, you better own your own feathers and don't afraid the powder.
Mm-hmm.
And so to take that power of my critical thinking to be an equal opportunity critic makes me an equal opportunity enemy and is open season on Michelina, protected by no man. A comrade without a king.
Mm-hmm.
Because when she opens her mouth and she talk about the comrade leader and the movement and the policies, how dare you? When you talk about PLP, well, he's a good labor doing now. And Pam, I sure that does say the same thing about me. Look what she government doing.
So
now.
a lot of knife sharpening going on. Eh?
Yes, but if there is a beautiful opportunity in having this position now, the ability to grow, the self-reliance, and there is a different set of persons that become ally. And Labour people gonna love me. Not all of Labour people gonna love me, but Labour people love me. Because a lot of persons are listening to what I say, but they can only nod. In order to protect their financial gain, they can only nod. In order to protect their children and their job and their peace, they can only nod. Because the moment you open your mouth, they come in for you. Mm-hmm. But as the old people say, I make up my cat back. And it comes with the territory. The more you fight as a battle axe, the stronger you get, the wiser you get, the more you understand. And I could not have grown. I would not have grown had I not been facing the adversities that I am facing now. So I am thankful every day. I say, Lord, thank you. I'm not without thanks. It is hard. In the name of Jesus, it is hard. But I will not trade it. I wouldn't go back in history and do one thing different. Because you see that independence is a power.
You know, what you're saying really hits, because even being a part of the a political party and a part of the political structure, you realize that when persons, especially young persons, are open to say that they are part of political party, it comes with various criticism. It's like, you sure you want to get into that? When a party really is there to generate policy and policy to push a country, and you're not getting, well, I'm glad you have join a party so you can try to elevate and try to move the discussion along. It's more like you're crazy, you know, if your party out of power, you know, if you pick the wrong party, everything done. Mm-hmm. And so, and there are persons who they're afraid to associate with political parties because of that, because they're afraid, one, that their voice will be silenced because they aren't given an opportunity to criticize without sanction. Yeah. So we it's a very hot topic here, but we have to take
and
a break.
honest, I like how we are being vulnerable and honest to the circumstances and the situation that I can speak for myself. I won't take the liberty to speak for you. But the growing pains, and I just bring my young people into my situation. Every letter I get, every circumstance I'm in, I am letting them be a witness to it so they could understand and use the information of what my situation is to make decisions for themselves while teaching them to make decisions.
We're going to take a short break and get back.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Magnum, my brand. Everybody put a Magnum in the air now. From you a drink Magnum, make me see. Take charge of things now your place now. From the river to the beach to the street. Hot Magnum when me have in a me hand there. Here a sipper, she tell me sweet. Look for me watch for your quick time check. Yeah. Right now a Magnum for your beat. Enjoy yourself every day of the week with a Magnum. My life I forget sweeter. Must be 18 years and older to drink. Drink responsibly.
Hey kids, drink healthy. Reduce sugar chubby with the same great taste. Lots of magic fruity flavors. Drink from more healthy way. It tastes so yummy, chubby, chubby. 25% less sugar chubby. Be active, be healthy. Drink lots of chubby. Kicking football, playing cricket, having fun in the sun. It's chubby. Reduced sugar chubby keeps you cool and refreshed. It tastes so yummy, chubby, chubby. 25% less sugar chubby. Jumping rope, running races, have fun. It tastes so yummy, chubby. Drink the more healthy way.
You know that just yesterday I heard an address by the Honorable Iselin Phillip. This is December, and I think it's disability awareness. And so we're hoping to have the president of that association to speak with, just to get some perspective, what's happening, what's being done. You know, persons living with disabilities, you know, they face different challenges. And so we really have to ensure that, you know,
they're included in the society.
Included.
I know the individual that is going to call. Remind me of his name. Navigator. He's also a part, or was a part of, one of the competitions last night.
Calypso. He sang the elimination.
And that the festivities is open to him. In a way that allows him to participate year after year, speaks to the intention to be inclusive, and I really appreciate that.
And even his he's not allowing his condition,
his disability
to deter him from participating. You understand? And having that calypso and being there and present. I remember when he made it to the finals some time ago, and he was there, you know, doing his thing on the stage, and I said, you know, he's not allowing that disability to hinder his progress.
I really like what Junior Minister Senator Iselin is doing with the ethos of inclusion. She's making a deliberate attempt to make sure that persons with disabilities under her watch and supervision are included. As I said the last time, one of the best things the administration has done for me, and that's because I like the social element of, you know, sustainability, human development, equity, access, inclusion. And I like that she, on the day of disability awareness, sought the responsibility as a leader to put out a statement, and I think it's one of her most popular statements. When I looked at the views, it had one of the highest viewerships, because our community going forward and moving towards a sustainable island state, sustainability has 3 different elements to it.
Yes.
So we have
Navigator.
And he's the president of the St. Kitts Nevis Association of Disabled Persons. Navi, what's up?
Can you hear us? Hello?
Hey, go ahead. Yeah. Have you know?
Yes.
What's up, Navi? We're hearing you. Go ahead.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning to you, sir. Am I on here?
Yes,
you are.
You are on air, yes. Can you hear us?
Okay, yes, my apology. Good morning, blessed to each and everyone who's listening to Win FM at this time. And my name is Mr. Joseph Bergen. I am the president of the St. Kitts Nevis Association of Persons with Disabilities. And this morning I will be joining the good folks there at Win FM to just shed some light on our week of activities, which started yesterday, December 3rd. It's actually the International Day of Persons with Disabilities, and that's where we commemorate and celebrate persons with different types of disabilities around the world. Yes, sir.
So outline now what you guys are doing for the week.
Okay, yes. So yesterday we started with a church service, and that was at the Pentecostal Church there at Boones Avenue. And tonight we would have been scheduled to have a panel discussion on ZIZ Radio with Caribbean Wellness and some other folks from the CBR Nevis group. And yeah.
Okay.
Pardon. Just a minute. I was distracted about a little something.
Mm-hmm.
And other groups that provides for persons with special need. And actually, this year theme is actually advocating for change while building a more inclusive society. That has been rescheduled for Monday, 11th. So on Tuesday we have a free day. Wednesday there is a tag day where we'll be selling tags around and in and around the streets of Bastia. These tags are to sensitize and advocate about promoting people with different types of disabilities, and in relation to commemorating and celebrating the International Day of Persons also too. We have nothing on Thursday. On Friday of this week, we have our premier event, which is Walk in My Shoe. And this is where we start from the bus terminal. We'll be having folks, able-bodied folks in wheelchairs, folks blindfold and using the cane, and underarm crutches, walkers and stuff. So it's just to give you a general idea as an able-bodied person how the person with the different types of abilities, just deal with their daily lives. It's just to sensitize you. It's just to give you that sense of feeling of what we go through on a daily basis.
Put yourself in my shoes, as it were.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, walk in my shoe. See what we feel, see what we go through, and try to do the things that we do in our condition as an able-bodied person. So, yeah, this is one of our premier event. And on Friday 15, that's the other Friday, our week is concluded by a dinner at the Marriott, a social dinner, social evening, a dinner gala with prize to be won and giveaways and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's basically it for our week of activities.
Okay, so are there any patrons, sponsors, well-wishers, persons of allies that you want to thank?
I'm not hearing you clearly, sir. You're kind of breaking up a little.
Oh, I was saying, are there any patrons, sponsors, allies that you'd like to thank, who have been, let's say, maybe invaluable as far as the association's existence?
Yes, there's a whole list of them who has been partnering with us over the years. I can't remember them step by step, but I would like to say, I greatly appreciate the folks who have been sponsoring and supporting and, just walking the distance with us over the years from since 1981, since the association started to date. And they just have been there for us overwhelmingly, supporting us in every little thing that we do to make the lives of persons with disabilities much more meaningful. Thank you. A big hearty thank you to each and everyone who have been sponsoring us, who have been there for us, who have been walking with us, who have been just everything for us. I would like to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Much love and appreciation, greatly appreciated.
Mr. Navigator, before you go off of the air, we recently lost a member of the disabled community, JJ. She's from College Street. God, that's my community, and I would just like for you to extend condolences to her. I remember when she became a double amputee. It actually happened in the gut while she was braiding hair. So if... Hello?
Hello?
Did you hear me?
Yeah, you're breaking up a little.
I'm saying we just lost a member of the community, a double amputee, JJ.
Yes, ma'am, yes.
From College Street. God, she's a member of your community and a member of my community.
Yes.
So if you could express
and
some condolences.
Yes. And I too would like to echo such sentiments, and condolences are extended from the association to her families and friends as well. So they have our deepest sympathies as well also. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay, Navigator. And I hope you guys have a very successful week of activities.
Yes.
We have to leave it there. We have Money Matters coming up at 10 o'clock.
So
and that's gonna also have a great day.
We're gonna conclude, guys. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
It's been a good show, Azard.
It's been a good show, yes.
It's been a good show, listening audience. See you Friday, same time, same place,
Yes.
and tomorrow.
Yes, awesome.
Okay, so that's gonna do it for you guys. Have a great day. We're gonna do it for Island Tea. We got Money Matters coming up at 10 o'clock, and the good doctor is gonna have some guests today. So stay tuned.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.